Today we are making a tiny little St. Patrick's Day hat, perfect for a little leprechaun or to decorate cupcakes or maybe decorate for a party. You should have the following pieces. You should have the main section of the hat that looks like this. You should have a brim with little slots, a brim without. You should have a little shamrock, a tiny buckle, and a band for the hat. We're going to start with this main piece. And we want this section to curl around like this. So first, I'm just going to use my fingers and gently curl it. I'm not folding it. I'm just gently kind of rolling it in my hands to get that curl in place. You could kind of do something like this and, over curl it and then let it go. You just want it to get that shape before we start putting these tabs together. Now these tabs are going to push into these slots and they're going to go, you're going to push them from the outside toward the inside. So they're not going to go like this, like you might, a lot of people always want to do it that way, but they're actually going to go like up and over from the outside to the inside. So first you're going to take these tabs and you're going to fold the side of them to the middle like that. I'm doing it toward what would be the inside of the hat. I'm folding them that way. Fold it over. Fold the side in, fold the side in. Looks just like that when you're done. Now you want to use your finger to keep it pinched and push it through that slot. And then when it pops all the way through, you'll hear it kind of pop open on the back side. But you might also want to flip it over and actually unfold that tab like that. It's hard to see in there with the camera, but actually unfold it. That creates a completely locking tab so that the hat isn't going to, suddenly pop apart on you. And then just do the same with the other tab. Push it in and then open it on the back side. Now we're going to fold down the top of the hat. You have 3 tabs here and then the actual top. These tabs fold over like that. Just bend them right at the edge. And then this top is just going to fold right down and you're just going to put a dab of glue on each of these. And then when you put the top down, glues to it. So I'm using hot glue. I'm just going to add a tiny little dab to each. Doesn't need to be much. I'm going to fold it down, making sure that, these edges line up good. I like to take a finger and put it into the hat and just make sure that those little edges and the tabs, they all are nice and firmly glued in place. Now we have the main part of the hat done. We're now going to take this brim that has little slots in it and we're going to put the tabs into each of the slots like that. And then we're going to make sure that there's no gap here, so it's not gapping like that. It's pushed all the way down. The brim is pushed all the way down. Put it like this and fold these tabs out. And then we're just going to add a tiny dab of glue under each tab. So you're going to get one here, one here, one here, and our last tab, one right here. It doesn't need much glue at all, just a tiny bit. I'm using hot glue. You don't have to use hot glue if you're not comfortable doing that. You could use tacky glue. You could use any kind of paper adhesive, a glue stick. There's a lot of scrapbooking papers, whatever you're comfortable with. And now we're going to adhere this ring right directly onto the other one. So we're just going to add enough glue to make sure to get a good stick. I like to make sure that I'm getting glue like all the way to the edges so it sticks nicely. You got to work quick with hot glue. And then I just give it lots of little pinches all around this brim to make sure that those 2 layers are nice and pushed together, just like that. Now I'm going to find the back of the hat right here. I'm going to have that back seam here and find like what would be the opposite of that. So this is the front. And I want my shamrock to go just a little to the side. It could go a little to the right. It could go a little to the left, really wherever you want it. I like it over here on the right. So I'm working just a little to the side. I'm going to just add a tiny dot of glue, and then I'm going to stick the stem in the dot of glue. It's a little messy the way I glued it, but that's okay because this band is going to wrap right on top of it, like that. So I'm going to go to the back. I want to start this band at where the break is so that my seams are all hiding in the back. And I'm just going to add glue to my entire band. And then I'm going to stick it on and wrap all the way around to the back, just like that. Make sure it's all stuck on there. Front looks like this. Now again, I want to find that back seam, make sure I'm directly on the front. And now I'm going to put my buckle on right on the front of the hat, just like that. I'm going to set it down with the seam in the back. I'm going to add glue to my buckle. Don't need a ton, just enough to stick it on. And I'm going to stick it down right in the front, just like that. You might need to hold it for a little just because this buckle is kind of thin. And you can kind of bend this shamrock out. I like to kind of bend it out a little to the side. Kind of cute. You could also give the shamrock a little more shape by kind of, bending in the center of each of the leaves. You could do that or not do that. It's up to you, whatever look you like. And then you have a nice, cute, tiny little St. Patrick's Day hat.